I want everybody to
I can't step too far back. You won't be able to hear me.
Look at your Facebook page, all right? Look to the left and look at the friends list. Imagine yourself traveling the world and meeting everyone on your friends list on Facebook. That's exactly what Arlynn Presser did. She joins us here in the Bastard Den. Good evening, Arlynn. How are you?
I'm doing just wonderfully. How are you guys?
Doing well. Thank you for coming into the Bastard Den today. I wish you were here in person so we can meet in person because we're friends on Facebook.
I was in Madison earlier this year to meet a Facebook friend, and now I'm back in Chicago, and I head out to New York in a little bit, and then out to the Pacific Northwest. I keep dashing around. I'm finishing up on December 31st.
Good choice of words for the season we're in, dashing around. That's nice.
Oh, what a transition!
How do you spell this name so I can friend her on Facebook?
It's Arlynn.
Right.
And the last name is Presser.
Mm-hmm.
So, Arlynn, what is the inspiration? What was your drive behind Face to Facebook?
Well, I make my living as a writer, and that means that when I don't have anybody living in the house with me, my 2 kids have grown, and they're off. When I have no one living with me, if I can get Domino's Pizza to pick up a 6-pack of beer on the way to my house, I don't have to leave the house ever. And yet, at the same time, Facebook tells me that I'm popular, I have friends, we communicate, we have a social life, we tell each other things, we share things. And I started to realize I was spending a lot of time believing that my virtual friends were really my friends, and that me sitting in front of the computer in my pajamas was the same as me having a real life. And then I started to wonder, who are these people? I had 325 friends, and some of them I had never met, and some of them I wasn't quite clear why we were friends, but we had mutual friends. And some of them I played Scrabble with, but had never met, and some of them said they went to school with me, but I don't really remember them from college. And so I thought, well, who are these people? I'm going to go find them.
And when I guess to kick off the tour, what was the one friend? I mean, what was that one friend that popped out and say, I'm going to start with this friend right here?
Well, actually, the friend I started with was my younger son who was leaving to go back to college, and I explained what I was going to do with myself for this year. And he said, I'm your Facebook friend. And I said, yeah, I know that. And he said, well, okay, we're going to go smoke a cigarette on the front porch. And I was like, I don't know where. Okay, fine, I'll do it. And I thought, okay, after I do that, 324 more to go. My big thing, the big thing I was most intrigued by is I had written and directed a couple music videos. And so I knew some rappers, but I was intrigued by the fact that I was friends with a female rapper from Brooklyn named In Da Loop. And I couldn't recall meeting her, didn't know why I knew her, but we had a bunch of mutual friends. And I thought, I'd really like to meet this person.
In Da Loop.
In Da Loop. Well, I kept sending emails saying, I'm coming out to New York. I'm going to be meeting a bunch of Facebook friends in New York. Can I meet you? Whatever. And I was out to dinner with the curator for the Museum of Sex in New York, who is a Facebook friend of mine. And he's an adorable 25-year-old, geeky guy that had once worked on a music video with me. And I said, I'm really having trouble with this In Da Loop. She seems to be tall, black, gorgeous, 25 years old, maybe, dreadlocks. I really want to meet her, and I can't seem to get her to respond to my emails, and I don't quite know why I'm friends with her.
Right.
And he said, I'm actually in Da Loop.
All right.
And I slapped him.
Well, maybe we don't want to meet you after all. No, just kidding. Arlynn, how many countries, states, and cities were involved in the Face to Facebook project?
Well, it's been going on all year, and I started with different trips into different states and sort of divided up my friends into regions, because it wouldn't have done any good to start by going alphabetically, because I would have covered a lot of ground again, over and over. I've done a bunch of different trips in the United States. I did Alaska top to bottom in 4 days, which was hellish, and my only piece of advice to people is Alaska Airlines, bar none, their pilots are the best because they can land on a football field. They can land a 747 on a football field. They don't care. and there's more liquor stores in Nome than there are people.
Right.
It's like Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. You'd be so familiar with it. It would be such familiar ground. I'm so sorry I'm missing at the party at high noon tonight, by the way. It sounds wonderful.
Great.
Anyhow, but I went with my son. My son actually went with me. My 23-year-old son went with me around the world, and we started with Korea, and we went to Korea, we went to Taiwan, the Philippines, Malaysia, India, the United Arab Emirates, up to Rome, Vienna, Dusseldorf, Dortmund, then 4 different spots in England, then up to Ireland, and then back to the United States. And I still have to hit Canada a second time and hit Mexico City a second time.
Wow, that's just an amazing amount of travel you're doing there.
Yeah.
What in all the encounters that you've had so far, what has been the most interesting, or the one that sticks out most in your head?
It's one that somebody could have figured out before it happened, and that was there was a gentleman in San Diego that I played Scrabble with all the time, and he described himself as sort of a nerdy guy, lonely, whatever, spends a lot of time on the computer. We played a lot of Scrabble over the course of 2 or 3 years. I went out to San Diego, and he was one of the people that I was set to meet, and he called me at my hotel room in the morning of the evening that we were supposed to go to dinner, and he said, I have walking pneumonia. I've just been to the doctor.
Oh. Yeah.
I just want to stop by the hotel and just see you and give you a hug, and then I got to go home. And I was like, well, if you have walking pneumonia, maybe you shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
And he's like, no, I really want to meet you. You've come all this way. So I'm like, okay. So I go downstairs. I meet him. He gives me a hug, and he sort of scurries away. And then he sends me a text saying, you are sexy.
Oh,
and
boy.
then becomes this weird negotiation about he has walking pneumonia but wants me to come to his house.
Uh-huh.
And I wouldn't do that.
Is sex a cure for walking pneumonia? Because, to a guy,
Well,
the answer is yes.
It gets weirder. Okay,
Yeah.
so I blogged about it. I didn't think much about it, but 2 months later, apparently his girlfriend Googles his name.
Uh-huh. That's never
And
good.
I suddenly get like 6 texts from him and, Facebook messages and whatever saying, get that post down, delete it, take my name away, my girl, And so I do, because I'm not out to hurt anybody.
Right.
But at the middle of, sort of at the tail end, like 6 hours after I've gone through everything and deleted everything that I can, and you understand you can't delete anything on Facebook. It's there forever. But so he emails me and says, I'm still on Google. If you Google my name, I still show up. And I'm thinking, dude, I don't own Google.
Right.
I can't help you there. 2 days later, I get an email from his girlfriend saying,
Oh, boy.
I can't say the word on the radio, can I?
Yes, you can. This is internet radio. Please swear.
Oh, I can say it?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
The name of the show is The
I'm
Bastard
actually
Done.
going to say the word?
Do it.
Okay. Did you fuck my girlfriend?
No, you
my
can't say
boyfriend.
that word,
believe you
though.
said
Oh, my God.
Did I use the word? Did I use the word? Oh, my gosh. Am I going to get in trouble with the FCC?
We'll
They're
go.
sending a fine right now.
We'll go take that post down from
gosh.
Google.
Oh, gosh. They're going to knock on the door. They're going to come to my house.
That's right, but they're going to have walking pneumoni and ask you to come over to their house. All right, so she asks you if you slept with her boyfriend.
Right? And I'm like, no. I had a chaperone. I always take a chaperone with me. No, I had no intention of sleeping with your boyfriend, and no, I didn't, and I had no idea you existed, and I'm just going to play Scrabble with him.
This encounter is definitely interesting, and is actually more drama interesting than anything else. That's just amazing how you kept all that together. So what's next now? First of all, how many friends have you met total?
268, and there are about 25 that I will never get a chance to see.
Okay.
And part of it is that, and you should go through, I would recommend that you go through your own Facebook friends, because some of them are spammers that don't really exist.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Fake.
And I've had some wonderfully not engaging posts back and forth with people who tell me that they just want an iPhone, and I can too, that kind of thing.
Right.
I have a couple who are dead, and I have about 10 people who just don't want to see me. and one of them I figured out is not actually who they say they are, and represents themselves as being an attorney practicing law, having a wonderful, life, whatever, and is actually permanently disbarred and is in prison.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we won't be seeing him.
Yeah, so I can sort of see that he wouldn't want to see me.
So what's next here for the face-to-Facebook and next for Arlynn Presser?
Well, I think I just want to get to the first of the year, and then I might not go on Facebook for a couple of days. If that would be okay.
Take a break. There you go.
Take a break.
That's a good idea. Arlynn, if we wanted to be your friend on Facebook, can we just search Arlynn Presser and you'll... Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just
One
friended her.
proviso I say is it's the first 300. It's the 325 friends I had at the beginning of the year that I have to see this year, and next year I'm not sure. Maybe I do it again.
Very good. Arlynn, thanks so much for coming to the Bastard Den today. It was a pleasure. And hey, when you get to Madison, give us a call and or drop us an email, and we can meet in person. We'll have a beer.
Absolutely.
Or a rocker vodka.
Absolutely. I'm buying.
Rocker vodka. Yeah, there you go.
That would be fantastic.
Thanks so much.
Arlynn Presser in the
Thanks,
Bastard Den.
Arlynn.
Thanks, Arlynn.